Welcome, everyone. My name is Danny Ross, and you're joining me for the biweekly AI app in 1 hour webinar. Essentially, we're continuing our journey of the Drive acronym, Drive AI. And so tonight, we're actually going to combine the last two letters in the acronym, the V for validate and E for expand. So for those that may have missed previous sessions, there's two ways you can check us out. As far as watching the replays, we have our AI Lunch and Learn every Tuesday at noon. You can register for that right here. I'll give you the link here just in case you joined after I dropped those other links. And so that's the link for the lunch session. You can register, pop it on your calendar so you don't miss it. And then we also have it here in our YouTube channel. I'll give you that link. Again, you can catch up on any of those that you missed. Here's the AI in 1 hour from last week, February 3rd. And so tonight, this one will be up probably by tomorrow or the next day at the latest. Okay. As far as replays and things like that, we're doing very well. We're caught up, and the video links, we have over 100 videos in here that you can check out. The one for 2:17 lunchtime should be up later tonight or tomorrow, the latest. And so I see in the chat we have a few new people. I see some people, veteran viewers. There we go. I also see some that joined just today. Welcome, Jacqueline. I see you. Catrice, you were on last week. Matthew, Bear, or at least Bear's note taker, looks like. Bob, welcome, welcome, welcome. And so we're going to continue the lunchtime viewers. You may have seen me cover some of this already, but one of the things that we do a little differently in the evening version of this session is we do take our time and start at the very beginning explaining the create method and trying to get people up to speed and prompting for AI. As a matter of fact, I'm working right now on the next version of this training, the Create Method training. The 1000X team, which I'm part of, we have come up with the Create X. It'll be one more letter at the end, and I'll show you next week, or for this session, it'll be 2 weeks from now, what that is about. If you join us, please, we'll bring you up to speed. If you've missed any of the letters in the acronym DRIVE, the D, the R, and the I, of course, please go watch any of the previous videos, and you can just search for the Drive framework or Drive AI, and you'll find it in YouTube. Okay. What we're covering tonight, we'll do the create method, we're going to do the validate and expand of the acronym, and then we'll just have, of course, demos. If you want me to include in the demos your URL or domain name for your business, please go ahead and drop it in the chat. I like to try to work with real URLs and domains for the example, so it makes more sense. You can see how it would work for your organization or business. The create method, in summary, is a power prompt methodology, super prompting methodology. We created it actually back in 2023, which is why we're updating it this year. There's, of course, been a lot of changes, but the method of how you communicate, you've seen on other channels and things. It is a very solid way to present this technology. You have setting the context, you tell the AI who it should be. Actually, let me do it this way. Let me go through each letter. The acronym spells out the steps that we want you to take, the 6 steps. Let's go ahead and step through them one at a time, just for clarity. If this is your very first time, please go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know in the chat. And if you have questions, I like to make these interactive. Anybody who's been on here before, they know I like to keep these things interactive. Hey, Bob, welcome. I appreciate you jumping on. And we do these every 2 weeks. All right, context. Very simple. If you've seen other prompting training, you've heard this word before. This is where you tell the AI who you want to invite to the conversation. One of the fantastic things about AI is that number one, it never gets tired. Number two, you can invite 1,000 experts to the conversation. It basically knows everything on the internet. You can invite, oh, I need Steve Jobs to help me with this technical presentation that I'm trying to work on for this new technology. I want to have Warren Buffett go back and forth with me on the stock market so I can understand it a little bit. If you are setting that context, you invite to the stage, I want an author, world famous author. You can name the author or just, again, you could say he specializes, you specialize, you tell the AI, I want a world-class author and come to the conversation. You are a world-class author specializing in science fiction. You are a stock analyst focusing on Fortune 100 in the agricultural area space of specialty. You can be very granular who you want to invite to the conversation. You can tell it why you're inviting that person. I'm launching a sustainable fashion brand, and I want you to be that expert on that topic. Okay. Next is the result. Again, this is super critical, and you cannot be too specific here. You want to break down what I want, how I want it. So, for example, we are doing a training every Saturday, starting next week, Saturday, called the Genesis Cohort for nonprofits. And what we're focused in on there is the nonprofit space where you have regulated industries, you have things like attorneys and so on. You have real estate. Catrice is in the real estate space. You have the requirement where you're talking to your mission, right, is for a nonprofit. You could be a ministry. So you have your flock and you're teaching them the word. And so, again, everything in that is very important that it is accurate to your vision and your methodology. And so when you create this content, you want to do something that we call governing that AI. You want to set up not only what you want, but you want to be very specific of what the AI can and cannot do. That training is going to pick back up on next week on the 28th. Let's go to the website. I'll give you the link for that. But you can also reach out to me because we're putting together some special pricing for our nonprofits. That's a little different than what's on the current website since we're on week 3, because we've already done the first 2 weeks. And by the way, if you do sign up and join, we will have the replay available as well. So this is going to be the 28th is the next session. I'll find the link specifically to that Zoom so that you can get in and check it out. Yeah, this is the one for the other one. I'll find the link for it and drop it in the chat, or just send me an email. I'll make sure you get it. You want to be very refined. We teach a concept basically where you are governing what the AI uses for its sources, and you have it build a knowledge base that is very specific to your organization or your business. And then from there, now that the AI knows what it should be working from instead of the entire internet, just these, 50 documents, website links and so on, very focused on my requirements and my mission and my vision. Then you can tell it, okay, from that, I want you to give me this result. You can limit exactly how you communicate. And this is where you also continue with that, not only a explanation, but this is where you, again, set all of those governing things. And I'll show you some examples when we get down to the prompting. Our brand uses only organic materials. We've been in business 18 years, have a strong Instagram presence, but limited block traffic. Our main competitor is Refinement. The more data you give it, and the better your result is going to be. And so you cannot over-explain. AI is very literal in some ways. Yes, it can be creative, and that's where you get into trouble with something called hallucinations, which is AI wants to be helpful, wants to be there for you, and if it doesn't know the answer, it'll make it up. You need to understand that, and the better explanation you give, so you can even say to it, give me all of the sources for whatever you're telling me. So I can check the context, I can check the result, and even more importantly, I can make sure you're on track, okay? Give it as much of an explanation, detailed result. All of those things are truly critical for you to getting what you want back out of it, okay? If you take the time to do this part foundationally in your prompts, especially your first prompt, you're going to get fantastic results as you continue to use it. Audience, super critical. This is where you tell the AI about who you're targeting with this. What age are they? Are they business entrepreneurs? Are they all nonprofit leaders? Are they all ministers? Or are they all Christians? Are they all Jewish? So you can be very specific in the demographic, the mindset. This is where you can ask the AI to help you create a target persona. And the reason why you want to do that is you want to put the AI in the mindset of your target audience. You want the AI to think about and help you understand possible pain points that you can use to communicate more effectively with not only the AI, but also with the target audience. Whenever you build content, and this is old marketing 101, people, first of all, don't buy features. They don't care how fast your widget is or how great your service is, in your opinion. What they care about is what's in it for them. They care about the benefits to them. To produce content that's very effective, if you want to get a sponsor for your nonprofit or you want to get an investor to invest in your business, you have to make sure it's very clear how you are going to benefit that target audience. Those are really, really important. Okay. So again, example here, target audience, environmentally conscious women aged 22 to 30, college educated. And this is really specific. That's because the more specific you are, the better the content that you're creating will resonate with your target audience. Just keep that in mind as you are creating things. If you just create vague content, meaning it applies to everyone, it's not effective to any one audience member. You want to be very specific there. Tone. This is where you can continue to refine the type of content and how it resonates with your audience. Your tone, is it a happy, playful mood? Is it a sad, serious? Is it your PhD thesis and you need to be factual? Is it entertaining, comedy? You can say, hey, you can not only be funny, but you can say, I want you to be funny in the style of, and give it a name like Kevin Hart. Okay, you want that kind of humor. Now, AI by itself is not particularly funny, but it does have the ability to find content of anybody you name that is on the internet that's famous, and it can see the style of comedy that's there and try to get close to it. It's not going to be perfect, but again, the more specific you are in the style that you're looking for, if I'm doing marketing, I like to say I want the tone of the content to be in a blended style between Dan Kennedy, who's like an old school hardcore marketing, he's aggressive and so on, and Gillian Perkins, who just happens to be a YouTuber that I saw a while back that I like the style and tone that she uses when she speaks to her audience. And again, the AI knows both of those and can put them together. And most of my content combines that aggressive sales if it needs to, if it's in the sales funnel side of the business, and a more calm educational voice. So you combine those two. Those are examples of the create method. And as I said, AI never gets tired 24 hours a day. You can just continue to iterate. It gives you some content. Don't take the first set of content. Go back through again. Say, okay, that's pretty good. Now I want you to expand on that, or I want you to compare and contrast this. That bullet number 5 is pretty good. Now I want you to make that a little better. So you can do that so that you can get a better outcome. You can continue to iterate, ideate. Okay, that's pretty good. Now give me 5 in the box versions of that content and 5 out of the box. And then you, as the human in the loop, HITL, the human in the loop, your job is to essentially be the expert when it comes to reviewing the content and make the decisions that the AI is going to follow. This becomes really, really important when you're starting to automate and you're going to use agents and things like that to perform tasks for you. It's really important that you're the human in the loop and you take the time. Even though the AI will make it create content almost instantly, your job is to slow it down and review what is put out, make sure it's accurate, hasn't made up any facts, it has sources, the content is legit, and then say, okay, this is pretty good, but I want this. No, that's not good enough. You go around as many times until you get to that content that you are really excited about. And therefore, your audience will be excited about it. Okay. We've got a couple of prompts here that kind of shows you the difference between just a simple prompt and something that is much more in depth. For example, write a blog post. It doesn't tell anybody anything. The AI doesn't know your parameters. It doesn't know your target audience. It's just going to make stuff up because, again, it's trying to make you happy. If you want it to be real and you want it to be useful, you want to set the context. I'm running a nonprofit based on food security and urban gardening in underserved communities. Write a 500 blog post that highlights our latest community garden project. Again, you're telling it, here's what I want. 500 words. Again, very specific. The audience, socially conscious adults between 25 and 45. What's funny about that is you could even lower the age on this a little bit because, again, the people who have the most enthusiasm for these types of things are probably just getting off to college, so maybe 18-year-olds, 21-year-olds. I would lower the age a little bit because those are the ones that have that enthusiasm. They're full of life and they want to solve problems that they see out there in the world. Now, don't get me wrong, a little bit mature audience, maybe a little bit more focused, but the idea is if you want to get that groundswell of enthusiasm, you want to include all of those young people, teenagers even, they have a lot of optimism, that kind of thing. Tone, hopeful, community driven, motivated, and then so on. You can see, and then you can expand upon it. It gives you that first pass. You say, okay, now give me something else. If I was to take this prompt here, let's take this prompt and run it as an example. Again, if you have a domain name or URL that you'd like to share in the chat, we can make it part of the conversation. Here's this prompt that I'm going to run. And let's find our buddy. You can use any LLM, any large language model like. I'm going to use my buddy. Hold on. I lost my buddy. Oh, there he is. I'm going to use my buddy ChatGPT, but you can use any large language model. So I'm going to run it in that. And then I'm also going to run it. So I should introduce, this is our platform, BuildBiz.ai. It's foundational to a lot of the content that I create on a daily basis. The way to think of it is it's 60 plus AI tools in one platform. You can sign up for a 7-day free trial. And if you do like it, it's only $19.95 a month. You get all the books you can download, those 11 books. And yes, AI helped me write all of them. That would be silly for me not to use AI. So $19.95 a month. And then once you get into the platform, when you first land in the platform, you'll see the little start here button. This is where you can get started. There's videos in there. There's the AI Lunch and Learn videos. There's the Big Dream Generator. This is where you can have an interview with the AI and have it help you build your business vision, your business brief. Very core document. And then you can use that business brief and a lot of the other tools so that the AI instantly knows everything. It's just like training the AI in this thread that we're working on. The platform itself is like your iPhone. You can move the icons around. You can drag them into your favorites up at the top. You can go find more apps just by searching, and you can see a description of what that app does. And if sometimes there's a video attached to it. If not, you'll find a lot of the videos either in the Start Here section or in the YouTube channel. Just search for Hyper Realistic in the YouTube channel and you'll find tons and tons of classes. I talk about it every week because it's one of my very favorite tools. You'll see that everywhere. And then we also have a sales coach, which is similar to ChatGPT in the sense that you can just start a chat with it. It's trained by me on sales and marketing. If I drop that in there and it loads up, you can then hit that same prompt. If I go back to our buddy here, ChatGPT, growing more food, how our community garden is cultivating hope in the neighborhoods. This is our 500-word blog post that highlights our community garden. And so it kind of lays it out pretty nicely. Social media captions, Facebook, LinkedIn. These are posts that you can put in those different places. In this tool here, let me also duplicate this so I can run in more than one tool at the same time. In here, we also have a blog post, a Better Blogs tool. What's really cool about this is you can create an automation where And again, if you don't know how to do this on your website, just get with us. Our team can help you install this blog post editor. But what's really cool about it is you can write the blog post in here using the tools that it provides. And you can say, I want to have 5 blog posts, and then it'll automatically put those blog posts up on your website for you. Same thing with if you need a chatbot on your website. You can create a chatbot in the BuildBiz platform, and it'll automatically update your knowledge base on your website anytime you add new documents to it, make it smarter, more able to answer questions. And it can answer questions on your website 24 hours a day. So it'll live here in the corner, and people put in their name and their email so that you can reach out to them with answers if you're not available online. And therefore, they can ask the AI chatbot questions, and it'll answer them and show up automatically in your email box. So you can fill that out quickly. All right, save. And then you can ask your question. What is hyper realistic image? And let's see if we can take it from there. I don't think I even gave the right name for it, but hyperrealistic is pretty close. So it can find and look at it. Hyperrealistic images are AI generated visuals that closely remember real life photographs. Now, if you did not know the answer, you could say, I want a human. And so the AI will send an email to me. I'm transferring you to a human. This can be trained by your organization or your business and answer questions. Same thing with the blog posts. It can automatically create and upload blog posts as you create them in the platform. I can just tell it I want to add a new one, and I want to talk about hyper. Oh, Catrice is sharing her URL again. I remember we took a look at it last week. Perfect. Thank you. Hyperrealistic AI, and I want to add a blog about that. So then now I know a little bit of what this is. So I'm going to add the post. This is a whole new blog. By the way, you can either create a whole new blog or you can just add a post to an existing blog. I should actually have done it that way. So this is the creating the title again. What's new? And that kind of thing. We can create an image. And what's great is I would, instead of first, before I uploaded it, I would create a new one. Let's do 2 things here. Catrice shared. As a matter of fact, I still might have the chat that we did last week. Let me go find it if I can. Maybe it is down here somewhere. Let's see. There's Sharon's. I did some of that today. I'm sorry, I don't. Maybe it's this one. Let's see. Discovering. That's the interview, which is, by the way, a great prompt. What this prompt does is it lets you just have a conversation with AI. It's a create method prompt. And so I'm going to drop this in the chat too, if it'll fit. It may be a little too big. Paste. Oh, no, it won't let me paste it. It's a little too big. Okay, so let me do that. Oh, this is from another one. Okay, so sorry about that. Let me grab it here. Come on. I had this problem last week where eventually I couldn't paste the last thing in there. All right, longevity, life, and medical. Perfect. Yeah, let's do a little look. All right, let me do one of our favorite prompts. And if you're on every week, you see me use this prompt. I give it out every week. This is the same prompt that I use to start a conversation whenever I want to review a website and just get an understanding of it. It's a very simple create method prompt, but it does a really good job of getting the job done. Let me put this into a new thread here. We're going to do a little bit of everything tonight. You better buckle up. We're going to cover a lot of things today. Okay, so let me see if I can get my AI to work with me here. Here is my prompt. Perfect. Now I just need my URL again. And we will let this run as well. Instead of playing with, that's why I like to get real domain names so that we're not just playing with theoretical stuff. Theoretical stuff is boring. I like to use real stuff. It's saying right now the site appears to be primarily an insurer advisor website focused on Medicare Advantage, Medigap. Okay. What's good about this is the AI at least is getting a basic understanding of who this person is. We would do a long kind of step by step. It's going to look at the foundational pieces of the website, navigation, what issues are identified, redundant pages, lack of clear conversion paths. That just means a user may get lost, things like that. And no visible lead magnets. Now, if you're in a regulated area of specialty like health and things like that, you can only say certain things. Don't worry about my very marketing aggressive AI, okay? You don't want to say things, and you would tell the AI, "Hi, I'm in this regulated space. I don't want to get into trouble with the laws of my state. I only want to have conservative types of content on my website. It should be informative." That is actually one of the main strategies when you're in a regulated industry. You can't say, "I am the greatest," but what you can say is, "Here's things that you should know, and here's things you should look at." It's more of an educational sale, okay? So SEO is search engine optimization. AEO is AI engine optimization or answer engine optimization. This is where you are trying to get the AI to find your business or service anywhere in the world. And the way to do that is to have good information, authoritative information that shows you are the expert on the web. And so the AI will point people to your website to answer their questions because they just asked a question about insurance and Medigap. And so now you want to be that authority. That's what this is going to do. You can have the AI do a lot of things, run that interview prompt that I showed you. You can have it, I want you to, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to do not a create prompt, just a simple prompt. Now I want you to help me with a few accelerated steps. Number one, I want you to help me define personas for this business based on the information that you just got from the website. Secondly, I want you to create a business brief that I can use to continue to build out my campaigns, marketing campaigns, and overall strategies. So again, not a super sophisticated prompt, but I'm just trying to get the AI trained up on who we are, and this is where the AI shines. What's the pain points of the target audience? Medicare is confusing. I don't know which plan saves me money. Fear of making the wrong plan choice. What do they value? Personalized consultation, clear comparison tools, and real human support. Don't we all? All right, so this kind of lays out what the different personas are. And when you do this prompt correctly, it'll actually give you a name. It'll give you all kinds of fun demographics about your target audience. And we do something where we talk about their pain. We ask them how things are on a good day looking for insurance and how things are on a bad day looking for insurance. And you go through that whole exercise. I've got lots of videos on there about that. I'm not going to spend that time tonight. Now that we've kind of gotten our pillars, this is a marketing term, okay? And what we're going to do in our conversion of the current website content and things like that. So we got a lot of data and information here. This AI knows me very well, so I don't have to spend a lot of time explaining what I want from it. I'm going to share this thread with you guys when we're done, if my AI will work. Hey, this time it's working. I'll drop that thread in there so you can get a couple of those prompts. Okay. That is the thread so far. All we've asked it really is two questions, but we've got a lot of data. That kind of tells you where I'm going with this. Now that I've gotten that nonprofit thing out of the way, now we're working with real data from a real person. Let's go ahead and take a look at the create method, getting a little bit more specific. This is what the prompt I should have used in just a second ago. I know I'm bouncing around a little bit, but here's the prompt as I have it here. And so you have using the create method, target audience. This is why you do the target personas in the business brief. So you are a business clarity assistant. So I didn't even know such a position existing. I'm going to tell it use the information above. First of all, I don't have to fill in these blanks. I'm just tell it use what I got above. Use the info above. And if you want that link, it's in the chat. And I want it to use the create method. The AI knows what the create method is, but if you didn't, if your AI is not trained on the create method, you can just upload a PDF on that. Let me actually give you that part. I'll give you this whole thread and I'll give you the gamma, which includes the whole thing as well. I'll give you both. Share. I love to share. I love to share. Copy link. I'll drop it in here. Perfect. There's the gamma. You can get the whole create method thing. And so you can train up your AI just by giving it that whole method. So use the create method, define the core problem, clarify the value proposition, and suggest a simple offer. Love it. Suggest a simple offer that both resonates with my target personas, but stays within the state regulations for the state of Georgia regarding insurance and what I can say on my website. Whenever you're in a regulated space, there's things you can and can't do. It's kind of laying out the core problem. It's building on what we just asked it to do. It's breaking it down in the create methodology. That just happens to be what I asked it to do. What's the essential offer? Smart senior seeker, caregiver connection, budget focused planning. Simple offer, Georgia Medicare's clarity sessions. Again, you're not making any claims. You're just saying, hey, I can help you learn more. Here's what I suggest. Again, stays out of the danger areas. We'll save you money. We'll find the best plan. All things you can't do in insurance. And AI knows this, and for every state, it's going to be different of what you can and can't do, and it'll align with seniors. That's your target persona. It's putting it together in a very simple manner that really helps you understand what we're going to change in the future. The website, the service pages, the landing pages, it's going to understand everything that we're trying to get it to do. Okay? You can see how this is kind of coming together. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. We don't want to spend too much time on any one slide. We want to make sure we get it. We did drive over the last couple of weeks. We're on the validate stage, and I'm going to go back and finish building out that example. Actually, I should do that first because while it's building out, I want to build something that we can validate against. So let me do that. Let's do that. We have a basic understanding of our business. We have an offer. We have our audience. We have all the things that we need, the essential pieces to go ahead and get started. Now, what we can do is run another prompt that will take us from concept to an actual website. Let me do that. Let's run one of my favorite other prompts that I give out every week. People who come all the time, they already have these. But for the newcomers, so this is write a detailed description prompt I can use in a vibe coder like AppServer.ai. And by the way, this website and all of the content, including the video,
Imagine creating powerful AI-driven apps without writing a single line of code.
all created in the BuildBiz.ai platform. You know, the look and feel of it, everything is very cool. All right. So anyway, so from in here, I can go out and build a prompt. And so if I go back here to the dashboard, I can drop in here and build a prompt. I'm going to actually use my original AppServer happens to be a white label of a tool called Famous.ai. The reason why I like AppServer is because I built it out to also have lots of examples and things of the types of apps that I'm building for customers. So you get a lot more hands-on help, and you can start with one of my examples and so on and so forth. But for this model tonight, I'm going to use this tool here. Okay, so let's see what it has given us. Please write a AppServer.ai prompt that I can use in any tech stacks, technical backgrounds. I'm telling it, I don't want it to be overly complicated. Make this project AEO optimized. Here are the colors. I can tell it to use copy, and I'm going to tell it to use the branding and colors from this website and give it the website. Boom. It's in there. And now it's going to build a prompt Based on the business that the information we've given it before, it's going to make it AEO optimized. This is very important when you're building your website. It will help you build things like your LLMS, well, lms.txt file. Will help you build good FAQs, strong FAQ pages or on each page will help you build strong blog posts that, again, will help get you found by AIs when they're looking for you. I'm going to take the prompt that it just created. I'm going to drop it into a coder. I've got it in there. I'm going to take out the tail end. All right, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm actually using too many browsers. My poor system is going to fall apart. I've got too many browsers running at the same time. All right, so if I go back up to the top here, I'm going to take out this header so we don't need it. Tell it to create a SaaS-based website landing page for, and by the way, we never did give it a name, did we? Project name, Longevity Life Medical Guide App. Wow, that's a mouthful. I obviously would recommend you take this and go back to our buddy. Where's our buddy? Hold on. See if I get my mouse to cooperate with me. Ah, here we go. We buried our buddy. Give me 5 in the box and 5 out of the box. Names to replace. All right, so let's see. 5 and 1 in the box and 5 out the box. Longevity, medical, Medicare, clarity, longevity. Why? This is a terrible in the box ones. Let's see. The Medicare Confidence app. I like that. That's better. ClearPath Medicare. That's a little bit vague. My Medicare map. I like that one. It's always good to make it about the person. Let's give it that one. Either one. I like Medicare Confidence app because again, the idea is emotion, Medicare, that kind of thing. Let's do this. And so we're going to give it a name, a better name. And boom. All right. My Medicare map. Love it. I should have it search and do a replace of all of it to make sure that the name is not referenced incorrectly anywhere else. And this is what I joked about is the human in the loop needs to actually read this and make sure it makes sense. Like you are in the business, you know what's parts A, B, C, and D mean. Is it relevant to this and that kind of thing? You want to make sure that everything you're putting in here really makes sense. All the text is thoroughly experienced, who has never dealt with it before. Important. I like it. It probably did cover the branding stuff. Turn off public, because again, you don't want other people seeing your app as you're building it. Once you get done, then you can build it out. And then you got website, mobile app, or crypto apps. And I'm just going to launch this and let it run. Okay, so now it's running. So that's why I let it do that while I go back to the deck. Because it takes a while to build. As we saw last week, it takes a good 10 minutes to build, which again, building a website, entire website in 10 minutes, phenomenal. All right, so why to create method manage for validate and expand? It's simply because validate just means you take a look at all of the marketing efforts that you have created. In other words, D is for deploy. That's where you start to create your vision, take the time to develop the strategy. Reach is where the R is for reach when you're starting to put together your social media posts, your paid advertising, you're actually doing it. I is implement, let's go do it. And now V is validate in Drive, and this is where we slow down and make sure what we're doing is actually working the way we intended when we started. Take a look at what needs improvement, what can be ignored, all of those types of things. We want to build upon those core things. If you are in a business or you have an organization, you're a nonprofit, there's a lot of things that you're putting out there weekly. We want to maybe put one idea out a week. We want to post those ideas, but expand upon the topics under that one concept and be consistent throughout that whole week. We're posting multiple days. We're maybe running ads. We're updating our website, blogs, and FAQs. We're doing everything that we need on that one concept everywhere. We're reaching everywhere. We're reaching everywhere that makes sense for our business and organization. Let me be a little more clearer in your reach. You don't want to be everywhere. You want to be everywhere that's important for your audience. Where is your target audience? You got teenagers, okay, you're on TikTok and Gram and so on and so forth. If you're reaching older adults, Facebook. If you're reaching businesses, LinkedIn, you have to be where you need to be to reach your audience. That's why you do the whole exercise of defining your audience. So, for example, for this business, seniors, that's a no-brainer. When you're building out Facebook, you can tell it, I want seniors living in the state of Georgia that are concerned about searching for things that have to do with Medicare. And Facebook knows everything about you. Okay. Even my mother has a Facebook account and she's 89. And so it knows everything about you that you look for, that you search for. It can target very succinctly who you're trying to reach. Okay. And so the idea is put your time and effort into the right channels. Okay. This is where you can run a prompt and, here's what I'm doing weekly. You would define all of this leads, follow-up, sales, website, and then ask the AI to identify what you should double down on. Let's see if it can help us with our fictitious kind of organization step here. You normally remember, this is the same thread that you are going to be using on a daily basis. It has all of this information. It knows what's working. Now you're inviting it to help you ideate and iterate further. I don't think this prompt is going to run well, but why not? And by the way, this last part, very important. Not only are you asking it to give you information, but you wanting to explain why. This is not a very good prompt, but it's good enough for our exercise. It's going to say, now let's evaluate them through a revenue lens. Sure, why not? What to double down on? Lead follow-ups. Medicare decisions are high stakes. People hesitate, and it's walking you through what you should double down on. Structure a five-touch follow-up system. Email, call, text, cadence. Beautiful. Even though it is not as accurate and detailed and granular as I would like, it is giving you good ideas, things that you can do and validate what you're working on. Sales calls, but with structure. Have these things ready, a pre-call questionnaire before you start, and so the people will know that, hey, you're on your game. These, you want to have this stuff ahead of time, and then have a clear defined next step. Again, this is an old sales joke, but not so much a joke, but a concept. It is what we call the assumed close, and what that means in English is you have taken the time to listen, understand your target audience, your prospect, what they're interested in. And if you've done it long enough, you know the five things that people are going to be interested from your business and service. You have that pre-prepared. When they are done and you've done the conversation, you say, based on the information you've given me, I suggest we do this and make it defined so that, again, when you're done with the call, you're not, excuse me, pushing is the wrong word. You're guiding them into the direction based on the conversation that this is the logical next step. And the assumed close part of that is if you have done a really good job of listening and understanding the target audience, then there is literally no reason they're going to say no because you've answered all of their questions. Your website has a great FAQ. You have given them the blog post and authority proof and customer proof, testimonials. You've given them everything. The money makes sense based on your conversation of what they can afford. All of these things are covered. So when you get to this defined next step, I suggest we do this next. They should have no problem saying yes. You want to take all the reasons for them to say no, cover them in your FAQs, cover them in your conversation. When they get to that next part, they can say yes. And there's such a thing in sales called objection handling, which is where you may not have answered all of their questions. They may bring up what's called an objection. Well, I'd like to do that, but I need to do this first. And my favorite response to find out and drill down and understand why they're not buying at that particular moment is a highly complex step by step. Never mind. I just go, oh, and I don't say anything else. And the reason why you do that is you want to give them the opening to be able to explain why they're not going to go forward. You don't want to give you any of your opinion of what they just said because you're going to be trying to pressure them into buying something, and you don't want to do that, especially in a regulated industry. You just want to understand more about why they're not going forward. You just say, oh, and just look puzzled. It's a question. Really? Why? And all of that is implied in that one two-syllable or two-letter word, oh, and let them answer and let them explain. Well, I got to check with my wife. I got to check with my husband. I got to check with my significant other. I got to check with my mother. What is the reason? And then you can kind of continue from there. Okay. So, what should be optimized? Content posting, website updates. It's giving you the whole list of things that you should do next. Love it. Let's see how our build is going along. Let's see our build here. It's still building. That's why I started it early. All right. So we have a plan. We are executing on our plan. We have the AI helping us put together what to do next. You don't have to panic. You're not, just jumping from idea to idea. You're letting the AI help you be your partner. Visibility, engagement, and conversations frequently as much as possible. You need direction. These three signals can tell you what's working. Vanity versus value is, I think this should be working. No, let's not do that. Let's actually build all of that based on these metrics. And success metrics or KPIs are really critical when it comes to marketing. But what's fantastic is AI is great at analyzing all kinds of data. If you have a website, most websites have some sort of analytics that can tell you how many people have visited. If you're doing things in social media channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, they both will give you analytics of how many people viewed your content, how many people opened up your emails. AI is really built into all of those products already. It'll give you all of that information. Then you take that information and you run it through your own thread so that you can analyze it. And so this is the weekly validation habit. What worked, what didn't, what's unclear, and what's next. You do that every week. And again, I gave you the link for this. I'm not going to spend too much time on each one of these slides because you can take it and run it with it on your own. Let's get to the E part of the drive. We've got 4 minutes left in the hour. We're going to knock this out. We did this at lunch, so some of you can take a nap. But if you weren't on our lunch call, the reason why businesses run into trouble when they try to scale is, first of all, you go out and you buy a whole bunch of new tools and things, and no, that's not how you do this. You try to scale too early, meaning you try to expand before you validate, things like that. Don't just throw money at the problem. Money is great because it's a trade-off, money or time. So you want to take the approach that first I'm going to validate. Okay, now that I understand what's working, what's not working, now, instead of just throwing more tools into it, I'm going to continue to use the AI to analyze what is working. And so I will take a prompt like, you are a business scaling advisor. Based on my weekly workload, current revenue activity, marketing systems, lead flow, what should be scaled? What do I actually should focus on growing and expanding on? What should stay the same and what should not be expanded? Now, again, we at lunchtime, I gave it some fictitious numbers, and I can do that again. But I'm just going to throw this prompt in here so that you guys have it in the thread. The reason why you want to give it real numbers, and I mentioned this before, is if you don't, it will make stuff up. What it's doing right now is making stuff up. The structured lead follow-up system, creating a defined 5 to 7 touch cadence, just kind of just making up stuff based on what we did. But if we had real data, meaning, hey, I went into my analytics and during the validate stage, and I see that I had 50 visitors on this day, 5 of them clicked here, 2 of them bought something, or 2 of them signed up for a consultative call, which is a lot of times what you would get on a kind of an insurance website. You get a call for a meeting so we can discuss and meet and talk about your needs, and so I can understand and gather data and so on and so forth. It's telling you you don't need more posts, you need deeper positioning. Again, it's making this up because this is not real, okay? Just be aware of that in this example. Sales call structure, not call volume. It's just giving you advice. And that's what I want you to understand versus the reality of this data. What's really important is that it is showing you what to do and where not to worry about. Now, if you feed it good information, because remember that old data processing, garbage in, garbage out. If you give it really good data in the validate stage, you're going to get really good advice here on how to expand. Because you've been building this thread from letter D and it knows everything about your business. You did the whole interview with it. You built a business brief, a product brief, your personas. It knows all about you. It's going to have really good advice about what we should do next and things like that. That's the real message of this part of the training. Okay. Almost there. Let's keep going. Three ways to expand: expand reach, expand capacity, expand value. I really like to expand value because, again, what's in it for me as a prospect or a customer? If you show me more value, it's kind of like when I share free stuff with you guys. When I give you free things, like for instance, on my website here, I have AI tools, which is free stuff. People love free stuff. So I give you this. Why? Because number one, it doesn't cost me anything. But number two, it shows that I want to give you as much value as possible. Okay? Free stuff is good. It's like why give a free trial? I don't have to, but I do because again, if you see the value in the platform, you have no reason to not sign up. That's my philosophy. Please take a look at the free AI tools that are out there. There's tons of them. All righty, let's keep moving along. We want to talk about grow without burnout. Okay, this is really interesting as well. As a business owner, you're fighting the day-to-day struggles of life. You don't have time to, get lunch. These are a super simple prompt. Create three ways this business could grow without adding more hours. Focus on automation, what can run itself, reuse, and AI leverage. And so things that you can do, build a self-running lead nurture engine, automation that can run itself. And matter of fact, in my next set of training, I'm going to be spending even more time on automation tools and how to build AI into your business and automate. And so it's telling you, create a 6-part automated nurture sequence. Right? Welcome. What to expect. These are the things that first time somebody reaches your website, you want to start there, obviously. Welcome. And then what to expect. Welcome to my website. And then explanation and education. Education is important in a regulated space. You want to spend a lot of time helping people and then making sure they understand the cost structure. This is that type of a business per se. Okay. Answer 3 questions on calls. Let's see what happens. This is reuse. Okay. So I was just saying you already had that first conversation and you're reaching out to them again. AI leverage. Use AI to turn one sales call transcript into 5 emails. Love it. Okay. So you take that conversation that you just had and because you recorded it during your Zoom. And so now you can even ask, Zoom has a feature now, they're on Companion 3, I think, where you can say, hey, give me 5 topics for emails to follow up with this particular prospect. And you can do that right in Zoom. Or you can take the transcript from the call, put it into your favorite AI tool, and let it answer it from there. Okay. We just did that. We created a Medicare Authority Hub. This is to, again, number one, set up your authority. This is something that you can do to give away for free, where you're just putting, just like I have my AI tools, this is the Medicare Advantage Hub where they can learn all kinds of files. Again, simple ways that AI can help you produce this content, make sure it follows the regulation guidelines, but other than that, go to town. Let it help you. All right, let's just last 1%. Always takes forever. But we're almost there and we're only 3 minutes over. So we're doing pretty well. Standardize your sales structure. All good ideas that it has. It likes to talk. All right, so let's wrap this up. You can also ask it for a 90-day expansion plan. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's do one of my favorite things here. All right, give me 60-second VSL script. Just the text, no narration or directions. Boom. We'll knock that out. And by the way, you could do this in BuildBiz as well. So while it's building there, let's go back here. We have our 500 post blog post here done. Again, see this tool will build it just like we just did. And then you can take this information from here about this blog post. And so we need some images for our website. We need some images for our blog. And so we can tell it, go here, tell it to create some image ideas for us. What's nice about this is, again, you create your business brief or what your blog is going to be about. And then you click the link and say, hey, give me some ideas. I don't know what images I need. And this is hyper realistic. You can see you can create fantastic images. All images that I put on websites and things, I usually build them right here in the platform. There is no limit to what you can build. I happen to like hyper realistic, but there's another tool in here called scroll stopping images, which is will create cartoons. It'll create any kind of image that you can imagine, water paint, whatever that's called, waters. All right, so we've got this thing building out an image for some image ideas that we can use to build it. We have AI building out a script for our video. And so let's create a quick video for this website while we have you guys here. I'll cancel the blog post idea. And by the way, you can embed that blog that it creates automatically. You can even ask it to also review it. And I did not read this ad. Please forgive any weird inaccuracies that might be in it. I'm going to pick a voice. By the way, you can use any voice that you like. I'm going to use Sarah. You can pick a voice. There we go. Some music. You can also upload music. What's even cool? So you can upload your own music. Tell it how many slides you want, whether it's portrait or a landscape. That's it. Super easy to do. Let's let that run. Okay, it's building. Wow, look at that. I like that. My Medicare map, how it works, Medicare 101, comparing plans. I love this builder. I really do. Let's build it out here so we can see the page a little bit better. All right, so we can see my Medicare map, how it works. It gives you schedule a free session, learn basic Medicare such. Stop feeling overwhelmed by Medicare choices. We help you understand your options, compare plans side by. You gotta love it. How my Medicare plan works. Start your journey. Medicare doesn't have to be stressful. Your Medicare toolkit, love it, love it, love it, love it. What I'm pointing out is if you compare this website, which we just built a few minutes in, not really a long time here, versus this one, while this will give you the information, you can see it's going to be to a reception to this website, right? That's going to be different than the reception to the previous website. While not saying anything bad or good about the previous website, I think that you can see that the end results are going to make sure that my Medicare map and this business grows faster. We could take this wireframe and build a nice website from it. And that is the main point of the exercise that we just did, that you can see the AI tools can help you produce some amazing things. Catrice, if your friend wants to reach out to us and the team here, we can help update and upgrade the website, unless you're already doing that, because I know you're a lovable user, so maybe you're already working on that vibe coding for them. And so in either case, we're here to help and happy to help as well. Okay. Oh, hey, Jody. I just found Jody here. Let's finish up our last step we were building. She's on the call. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, okay. Hey, Jody. All righty. So what we can do here is we can get some images based. A nonprofit urban gardening organization that strengthens food security in undeserved neighborhoods. Close up of a child, small hands. It's giving you what it is. First, the top part is setting the context. This is a really fun tool. First, it sets the context, and then it starts giving you ideas. You can pick what size the image is, and then just tell it to create. Okay. Again, no create prompting required because it's built into the AI tool itself. And all this tool does for a living is generate images in different sizes. And there is 3 of these tools in this platform. So there you go. Free garden class. Sometimes AI kind of screws up on words, but I think you get the idea. Let's do another one here quickly. And you can iterate as many images as you want. There's a logo maker in the platform. There's all kinds of fun things in the platform that you can do. There you go. That's running and we're good. Again, food insecurity. This is the different prompt that we did, not the insurance prompt. Anyway, we could take that. And so now that we have that running, let's see if our video is done. Wow, you're doing well on the video, Danny.
Turning 65 or helping someone who is can make Medicare feel like alphabet soup. Medicare Advantage, Medigap, and Parts A, B, C, and D all sound alike but work very differently. One wrong move can affect your coverage and costs for years. Clarity matters. At Longevity Life and Medical, we give Georgia residents plain English license guidance tailored to their needs. No pressure, no complicated jargon, just a clear walkthrough of what each plan covers and what it could cost you. Get peace of mind before you enroll by scheduling your Georgia Medicare Clarity session today and feel understood, not overwhelmed.
I would do it vertical so that it fits better, but you can run that and expand upon that. That's only 30 seconds. You probably want to have a little more meat and potatoes in there, but you get the idea. Click below to find out more, that kind of thing. This tool, I use it all the time to build pretty much all my little videos. And then I have a more sophisticated tool called HeyGen that you can use to build avatar-based. There's an avatar-based tool in here that's included in the platform. So you can play with that. It creates a lot of fun videos. Let me get this video and drop it into the chat just so you guys can take a look at it at your leisure. You have 5 terabytes of storage in the platform, by the way. So you can make a lot of videos. Let's download this quickly. Let's go find my drive. Have you downloaded it? It shouldn't take long. All right. Let's go to the downloads and where's my file? It says it's done. And let's open up there. Oh, there it is right there. I missed it. There we go. Let me drop it into the chat. There you go. It's on its way to you guys. And now, what target audience? The photo that's here, if this is your target audience with a headless person right there, that's hilarious. I love AI. It was like I got tired. Danny, it's late. I don't feel like building this person's head. AI makes me laugh sometimes. It just quit. Anyway, ignore that video because it's terrible. This is why the human being has to check it. So if I go back into the AI tool, I could literally just, what are the nice things about this tool? There's the headless person. We could tell it to regenerate that image because we don't want any headless people in our video. You can also be very specific in your build. For example, it says a community basket. Let's see what this one is. Smiling neighbors. AI is biased towards a certain melanation and look. So if you want anything else, you could say smiling diverse neighbors. So it'll give you more than one race and ethnicity. You could be even more specific, smiling black neighbors. This is an AI tool. It works for you. You can tell it, I want Asian, I want Latino, I want whatever you want. You can say diverse if you want a variety of people. And so you can tell it what you want and it will deliver. And you can get as granular as we talked about in the create method. Okay. You can take this image, you can download it. Remember, this one is about food insecurity, not the life insurance one. We can download this one here. And you can tell it what style of image you need, and then you could go back to your video and it's still spinning. Oh, that young lady did not look 65. I just realized I told it. That's not a good one. Seniors, I do a lot of photos. But you could tell it what you want. You want seniors sitting around the table discussing insurance. You could be that granular with it. I was just looking to see if it was nearby. Okay, so smiling black families, smiling black. Let's go to the next one, see what this one. Okay, this is all about food insecurity, but I could be very specific. Seniors, black, seniors, Danny, sitting around the table with an insurance rep discussing the future. No, that's not a good way. It'll confuse it. It won't know what I mean. They are smiling. They would come up with some weird sun image in there. Again, you got to be careful what you ask for. All right, it's doing that for me so I can replace that image in the video. But so this one is a good one of a senior. And by the way, anything you type here is what the AI is going to read. I think you guys get the idea. It is biased. Generally speaking, if you're not specific in what you ask for, you will get a white guy with a beard every time. Why? Because that's who designed most of these AI tools. And, it's very California and Seattle centric in its imagery. If you want anything else, you have to be very specific about what you would like. What it does is it does make it harder for you. It is not as fair when it comes to ethnicity. Same thing with the content that it creates. You have to be very specific about your tone, your target audience, who's it for. You have to tell the AI what you want, okay? It's just a reality of it. It's not a conspiracy. It's just the way the AI was built and trained. How many images was it trained on? Billions of images. And so if you want to be properly represented in those images, again, there are tools out there like Latimer AI. There's tools like Black Chat GPT. There are lots of tools out there, and there's ways to get the imagery that you're looking for. But again, you can make your own, right? Upload an image to any AI tool and say, give me an image like that, but with the person doing this. And you'll get something similar. AI is very good with that kind of stuff. But I did get the style of image that I wanted, which is seniors sitting around talking about this is actually a pretty decent image. Again, you should tell the AI, good job, and then download it. And by the way, the tool has things that you can do to edit it and add text on top of it and all that kind of stuff. That's all built into the platform as well. Now that I have a new image that actually makes more sense, I can go up to our, this regenerated image is better, but no, I want something really to capture the attention. Oh, let's see. There you go. This one's good. And you drop that in there, rerun the video without the headless horseman. And on this one here, I would say something like click below for more information. If you're going to throw it into the, threads, I would change it to landscape instead of if you're going to put it in your feeds and things, right? I would make it landscape, excuse me, portrait. And this last image I would change to something that represents the business itself, like the website. There you go. I like this one. Let's grab this. Bing. Boom. Love it. That's the one we will use. And let's upload that to the website. Upload screenshot. Not that one, not that one, not that one, that one. Love it. It's got the owner's face in there, and we won't change all the other ones. We'll just change that. And it's running. It should take about 4 minutes. It won't take 8. All right. Our website was actually pretty decent. I liked it. Actually, I loved it. It was pretty clean, clear, Medicare, medical blue, good colors, pops. It's lots of stuff we can go in and edit. It's super easy for us to edit this and make it accurate. But look how much information it put on here, information about healthcare. And again, if the cards are not exactly right, we go in and change them, no problem. Is Medicare vocabulary made premium deductible? Actually, this is pretty good stuff here. Medicare Advantage Part C, all in one, supplement, Medigap supplement, all this stuff. Don't know anything about it. Not sure which plan is right for you. Hit this button to reach out to us. Love this. Pick a time. This is the idea is that AI can build amazing things for you in a very short period of time. And then again, if you don't know how to take this and add it to your domain and all this other stuff, reach out to us. We're here to help you. Okay. Here is my email for schedule of webinars. Okay, let me grab that. Copy, and I will make a note to myself. And yes, I have AI that can remind me to reach back out to you. English. I wanted to have your email address as well. I will make a manual reminder. Contact about class schedule. Bingo. Done. All right, save. And by the way, you can reach out to me as well via my calendar if you would like to have a conversation. Okay, let us take a look. We have a good website. Let's see if our video is finished. I'll download that and we are rocking and rolling. Please let me know if I have any questions that I missed. I'm happy to answer those questions. And where are we? Are we done? Yes, we are done.
Turning 65 or helping someone who is can make Medicare feel like alphabet soup. Medicare Advantage, Medigap, and Parts A, B, C, and D all sound alike but work very differently. One wrong move can affect your coverage and costs for years. Clarity matters. At Longevity Life and Medical, we give Georgia residents plain English licensed guidance tailored to their needs. No pressure, no complicated jargon, just a clear walkthrough of what each plan covers and what it could cost you. Get peace of mind before you enroll by scheduling your Georgia Medicare Clarity session today and feel understood, not overwhelmed. Click below for more information.
In other words, we would want to make the images that we're using in the video actually be portrait. Then they would fit in the video properly. I'm going to rerun this one last time, but I'm going to make the video landscape. Because it just doesn't make sense to try to squeeze a landscape photo into a portrait cut video. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't look particularly good. We'll make another one. We'll make one more last version, I promise. And this one will be horizontal or landscape. While I'm doing that, does anyone have any last questions? This one went to 90 minutes, which is pretty much what I planned on. I figured it would, because I was covering 2 letters of the alphabet in Drive. And so I kind of knew it was going to take a little bit longer.
Turning 65 or helping someone who is can make Medicare feel like alphabet soup. Medicare Advantage, Medigap, and Parts A, B, C, and D all sound alike but work very differently. One wrong move can not overwhelmed. Click below for more information.
Beautiful. That is a thing of beauty. Love it. Let's go ahead and grab that one and download that puppy. Rename it for copy. We're going to rename it while it's downloading so that I can find it if I need to in the future. Longevity. Actually, let's not do that. Let's just do longevity. All right, perfect. Even though on the Mac, sometimes you can use it's, you still want to keep your naming convention to be logical. All right, it's downloading. It should be done. Come on. New download available. Perfect. Give it to me and drag it over. Boom, we are done. Did I forget to share anything? I gave you the thread. I gave you the deck. I gave you the video. Did I forget anything? All mine's good. I'm going to get out of here and say thank you very much for joining. And we had a great session. And the recording will be up very shortly, a day or two the most. Okay, everyone? Have a fantastic evening and enjoy the rest of your night.